All right, everybody, welcome back. Thank you for watching. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time with intro and so on. We've been able to get some parts. We've been able to get some things going. We're going to get this beast, going to get the pig running again. So if you watched in the last video, when I went to go do a coolant flush because I was going to replace my degas bottle or the overflow tank, for those who may not know what that is, and then found out that the radiator was in fact cracked as well. Did not want to go with something that still had plastic caps, even though I know those will do and can do just fine for a while. So I was able to find an aluminum radiator. It is completely aluminum. It is solid. It is, believe it to be a good product. I've gotten lots of radiators from this company before, a company called Performance Radiator. There's a location in the Phoenix Valley. I will link in the description below where I got it, but let's go ahead and get started. Alright, not sure when it cut off, but got about 5 gallons-ish in here. I'm gonna grab one more since they were all mostly melted. Run a temp and see what happens. So we're back from the first heat cycle where I filled it up with water and ran it to operating temperature, and you can really see just where these cracks are just kind of spitting out, and it's actually even a little bit worse under there. This bottle wasn't really doing too well either, but that's why it's all getting replaced. So wait for it to finish cooling down, go from there, and got some lovely mess in there that I need to clean up as well. But anyway, so we got some more work to do, but rather than sit here and time lapse a cool down, I'll just shut it off and pick it back up on the next fill up. I also am replacing that pulley and then the tensioner assembly down there as well. That one, the only one they had in stock, it had a catch in the bearing, so I opted not to get it, and they had to bring in another one from another store from across the state, so we'll get that done today as well. All right, everybody, so I'm on my third rinse. Just want to make sure that I know there's nothing really that's been exciting or worth filming. It's just filling up and draining. But what I can say is that one thing to make sure of, if and when you do flush your own cooling system, make sure you're using distilled water, not tap water. And the procedure that I'm following for this truck, it says to get it up to operating temperature and let it run for at least 5 minutes at operating temperature, shut it off, let it cool down, drain, and repeat the process. Now, another thing just to note, just in case for an FYI, as you get more and more straight water and less coolant, it does get up to operating temperature faster. And just maybe want to keep an eye on that, because again, water without coolant does boil sooner and you could end up potentially causing a problem. So just keep an eye on it, watch closely, and onward to the next step. So just as a quick reference, this was the first batch that I dumped, which was basically just the 50/50 coolant with the gold. And then this is rinse number 2. And this one's number 3. Or well, first rinse, second rinse. Alright everybody, I had to cut it short yesterday and didn't get to finish. Had to go to work, so here we are. Thankfully it didn't freeze last night. I was kind of freaking out, but I'm not going to waste any time. We should go ahead and jump right in it. Yank the old radiator out, hoses, thermostat, all of it, and just get going. So I pulled the thermostat off last night and just left the housing on just in case. But so you can see here, that's it right down there. And when I pull it out, everyone always says, you know, make sure you pay attention to the way the thermostat's oriented. It sits in like this, so that way, make sure you put it in the same way. So next step, I disconnect the hose from down low, the lower radiator hose, and both the transmission lines. We got to remove the training lines, both of them. Now I did already check the new radiator, and make sure you check yours. I do have the adapter, so I just need to remove this part right here. Break it loose there on both of them. Pull those off. Of course, remove your lower radiator hose. And yeah, let's rock and roll. Radiator is out. I too kind of hate it when some folks just cut and take little pieces like that out of the video, so I do apologize if that upsets anybody. But we got her out. Got my oil pan down there to catch the tranny fluid as it leaks out of the lines. It looks pink and pretty, smells good. Now, as far as the hoses, I've got the dual alternator set up. I think it's an Advance package, so there was an option on the radiator hoses. So for the upper hose from Napa, this is the part number for your upper hose, 9066. And for the lower hose on this particular setup, it's 9067. Again, there were 2 different options for a lower radiator hose. So this is the one that works for this truck, at least on the dual radiator setup that I've got. So my serpentine belt does look good. I don't see any real reasons to probably do anything with it. Yeah, you can hear that way much better now. Now that I've got this on apart here. No bueno. That doesn't sound that great either. Let's see this. And those are things that I'm going to want to get replaced at some point too. No lateral play on that one. So that's still got the Ford Simp, so that's the original, almost 200,000 miles. All right, so eventually these two are going to get rebuilt by a shop that did my brother's truck. Fantastic job. But anyway, I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup. I'm going to clean my fan shroud, and we'll go ahead and get the new radiator in. Before I get too deep, this is the new radiator, all aluminum. It is not a reman, it's a new one. It's from Performance Radiator. I don't have Mishimoto kind of money, so this was with taxes and everything just under $300 out the door. This particular, I know they have different locations, not sure where they are, but the one in Phoenix offered to ship this up to me, and I'm 4 hours away from Phoenix. They offered to ship it for $15. So it might not be a bad way to go for somebody budget-minded, wanting to upgrade and needing something other than a plastic cap radiator. It does have a lifetime warranty. It's a little different, but it fits, it matches up, and I spent quite a bit of time on the phone with them today just to make sure that even though it's slightly different than the factory that I'm removing, that everything's going to be okay. And again, they gave me all the assurances they could. Again, it has a lifetime warranty. We're doing the hoses and the thermostat. We're putting Rotella extended life coolant in it, so we should be good. Let's go. Tech tip, there is a washer right here on the back of this bolt holding this assembly on. What it's for, I have no idea. Make sure you take that with you and make sure you put it back on with the new one. We've got our new tensioner assembly from Napa Auto Parts. So we'll go ahead and get that on. They're nice, they're smooth, they're crisp. That's it. And to further help you out, there are these two little nipples right here, or studs. Those go into the coarse running spots right in here, so there's really only one way it can go in. got that all done, put back together, snugged up. I'm gonna snug up the hoses on the bottom. Give everything a once over, make sure everything's good and snug, start filling her up with coolant. I'll bring you back at that point. All right, everybody, that took way longer than I anticipated it taking. Little issue after little issue, always delays, not to mention dropping a bolt and not being able to find it and having to go find a suitable replacement. So, that being said, all that's left right now is gonna let it warm up, bleed any air out of the system, and then just final mix. It says to do 4.1 gallons of concentrated coolant. Since there is no such thing as a 0.1 gallon to buy, I got to go get another gallon, but I'm going to go ahead and let this start going so that we can get some coolant circulating in the system instead of just distilled water. Make sure there's no leaks, make sure there's no cracks. And yeah, appreciate you everybody watching. I hope it helps somebody out. Again, the link will be in the description below for where to get that radiator. For Performance Radiators, they've helped me out a lot. There's no sponsorship, there's no deals cut, but I've bought a bunch of radiators from that place and they've all worked and I've never had one fail, so I'm good to go with that. It's a lifetime guarantee, so hopefully we aren't going to be doing this again anytime soon, at least not because something's broken. If we do it, it's because we're going to be doing some upgrades and the truck's taking another direction. So in the meantime, thanks again for everyone watching. If you liked what you saw, please give a thumbs up. It does help. If you have any questions, go ahead and throw them in the comments down below. I'll do my best to get back to you and answer you as best I can. Anyway, appreciate it. Subscribe. See you all next time.